It is absolutely cooking hot right now. G'day guys, well welcome back to the channel. Out here today on the ski. Just made the journey out to the reef. It's pretty nice. It was a little bit bumpy on the way out. Probably by about 10 knots, but up on the reef here it's nice and calm, nice and glassy. Let's reposition so I can get better sun. I've been a bit quiet lately. The reason I've been quiet is all the content I had from last year that I saved was on a hard drive, and that hard drive shit itself, so that stung a bit. So I've lost everything that I was filming sort of from a couple of weeks ago prior. It's getting a bit of data recovery now, so fingers crossed that I can get it back, and even if I do, it's going to be days if not weeks of sorting out all the files that go back on, because they don't go in folders, it just goes on if they come back. So oh well, what do you do? I've learnt my lesson. I got to back up my hard drive. I did do a trip recently out to the reef, just before Christmas actually, and the reason I haven't posted that yet is I was testing out a prototype item that me and the family up north here have got together. We've merged some of our ideas, and we come up with something that we think is going to be really useful or apply to a lot of people doing adventures just like I get up to on my channel, and something to help you out when you're out on the water, inland, hiking, whatever. So stay tuned to see what that is. If you haven't, give the Instagram, Matt28 Instagram, a follow, and the Facebook page as well. Jump over there and you'll be able to see when we're releasing that, or when it pops up, more information about it. So anyway, back to today's episode. So we're out here on the reef. I'm meeting up with a mate of mine who's just north of me somewhere. I'm gonna find him. That's why I've got the spear gun, some of my dive gear, so I can have a dive with them. Also brought the rods out. But the main reason that I wanted to come out on the ski today is because I've just made a new esky for the ski. So if you don't know, it's a Waverunner and doesn't have a lot of storage. It's got a bit of storage up the front there, but that's about it really. So I sort of have to fit most of my stuff in the esky, and then also a bit of ice, and you can bottle of water, some food, whatever. But all the fishing tackle, everything really has to live in there. So it's pretty chockers at the moment, but I wanted to give it a test out because it's new. I filmed the process of putting it together as well. The old one was okay, but I used a heap of hardware from Bunnings that wasn't real stainless. Pretty poor quality, started falling apart, pulling bits out, and I was a bit worried that it was just going to pop off the back of the ski. I went straight back to Bunnings and bought one of their Eskies. But I got some better stainless bits for this one, so hopefully holds together pretty well. Here's how I made it. Check it out. Done. Okay, sit down. Fitting a new esky to the Waverunner. This is the old esky here. Worked okay, but needs an upgrade. So I'm putting on this esky. It's just a 50 litre jobby from Bunno's. A few stainless bits. I'm gonna fit it to the jet ski. So this is how it sits up on the ski. Basically it's a couple tie down points either corner, and they basically go straight down to the tie down point on the ski, and from the front here another point, and it goes to the toe point on the back of the ski here. So pretty easy. The only thing you need to make sure is that it sits level, and to do that I've got these little feet, rubber feet on the bottom, so I'm going to put those onto the bottom of that. Don't mind Donnie back there, he thinks he can dry himself on the fence after having a swim. Not too crazy, but it works. Let's see if we can make that esky work. So basically I've just offset cut some rubber stop grips and drilled a hole through, and then they should offset the stance of it on the jet ski. Now it's sitting pretty straight, bit of a gap underneath. That's looking pretty good, much smaller too. Well, making progress on the esky. I've just put some rod holders in, one on each side at the front and on the angle at the back. And the reason on the angle is because the lid still needs to open up. Most of the time I'm taking 3 rods. From when I've been out before, I only ever really take 2 most of the time, but maximum 3. I haven't really trolled much, but yeah, if I did, I'll definitely use a secure rod holder. I think they're in pretty good spots for 300 bucks. Pretty simple. I ended up doing these stainless straps. They're Australian company. They're pretty dear. They're about 60 bucks for 2 of them, I think. But stainless steel is the way to go, especially with all the salt water. It's pretty much come together. I'm going to cut these bolts off. I'm going to Sikaflex over all those holes. Same as down the bottom. I'll just angle grind that piece off, and I'll be able to Sikaflex over it just to really seal it up. I liked the compartments in this. It was a cheap esky. You go to any other store, BCFs or you know, Anaconda or any of the big stores that sell eskies, they're expensive. For 200 bucks, I think it'll work pretty well. All that I need to do now is finish off the job cutting those pieces off and test it out in the water. So I'll get back to you when we're out in the water. So I brought my rods with me today, 2 rods, and brought the fins along. They're strapped in there nicely, and then the spear gun sitting on top just with a fist grip, 2 of those. Inside, if I open it up, I got leashes for everything, so I got a leash for that. I don't know how well it will hold onto it if it comes off, but got a leash on that rod and that rod as well. But inside here, I like the esky because of the division of it. Probably already talked about it when I've made it, but the division, I can separate everything. So the ice is in the middle, bit of a sanger there, some trace for the rods, or just fish, just tackle, and then some of my camera gear as well. The biggest problem with my last esky was it was just one cavity or one open spot. Didn't have division areas, so things were bouncing around. GoPro batteries were getting in water and I was killing them, so I wanted something so I could divide and sort of keep it somewhat sorted. It is absolutely cooking hot right now, so I'm gonna go find Birdo, and he's with a couple people today, so we'll head over there, and I think they're having a bit of a dive, and then they might get the spear guns out. So let's go. Uh-oh. Oh, did you hear that? The ski did not want to start. Woo! That gets the heart rate going. Maybe the battery's a bit low, but today I brought a bit of a safety. In the back seat here, I brought a jump pack that my brother bought me. And if the battery dies, fingers crossed that will work to keep it going. Maybe the battery's on its way out, I don't know. How's the viz?
Not too bad.
Not bad?
See it disappearing down to 15 metres. Yeah.
It's pretty clean right up there, eh?
Clean.
Well, it just looks it from the top, like you know, not that murkiness. So I come and found Birdo. He's with a couple, Katie and Sean, I think it is. And they're, is it Sean? What? Shane. Close. Shane. And they're having a dive here on the rope. Might suit up and jump in and see what they're up to. Well, it's I don't know what time it is, but it's still in the morning, and the water is pretty bloody nice. I'm just sitting here on the ski. Birdo's under the water. Shane and Katie are over there. We just had a couple free dives on the rope, which was pretty relaxing. My sinuses were a bit of an issue, but still fun to really relax without a spear gun and not have to focus about anything else but just being under the water holding your breath. So here's some good footage of these guys diving down, and possibly me as well, I don't know. We might move from here shortly and go shoot a fish maybe, nothing too big because it won't fit in my bloody esky. But I've had some issues with the ski as well, so hopefully it starts. Otherwise, looks like I'll be swimming back. Could be just the fuel not priming properly, I don't know. So I might suss it out when we move. Alright, we're at a spot we're going to have a bit of a spear. Birdo's just repositioned his boat, and then I'll tie off the ski and hop in and see what we can find. There's a nice little jellyfish here actually as well. And I haven't seen one being in the water yet, but I wanted to film one in the water. I'll show you.
go. Have a look at that. Got a red emperor and just on this bommy here, diving with Katie and Shane and Birdo. Found him just sitting on the top side of the bommy and sitting with amongst a bunch of slaties, and there was also a jack next to him, but my first red emperor, so I was stoked to get it. You. Wow. Good. Awesome. I've just left the guys and I've just come over because I want to have a bit of a flick with the fishing rod. But I grabbed my red emperor as well, so I chucked that in the esky. I'll give you a look in a moment. It fits just, but yeah, I was so stoked to get that. I'll have a chat about it in a minute, but first, let's see if I can catch a fish. See if I can get something like a stripey or a little trevally or something. That'd be just to top off the day, that'd be awesome. So I'm just on the reef tops here and have a fish for about half an hour, and then I might, I'll wait for the guys, they might come past me and then we'll boost. So let's see what we can catch. All right. Oi, here we go. What's that? What do we got here? Oh, a little trout. Oh no. Little grassy. Pretty cool little fish. See ya. All right, well, it's nearly 3 o'clock and the wind's come up a little bit, which means it's going to be a bit of a harder run home, but all good. Birdo's taken off just in front of me, so I'm going to sort of cruise, catch up to them and cruise behind them maybe, but bloody happy with the little esky and the setup with the rods. Just under here, a bit messy. Here's the red emperor. Oh, look at her. Absolute cracker. How good is that? First session out with the esky and it produces. Gold. All right, well, I'm gonna cruise back in. Thanks for watching this episode, guys. Make sure you subscribe to the channel, because if you haven't yet, you need to do it. There's some cool stuff coming up this year. I'm actually already organizing to head up north, up the Cape. Hopefully a mate of mine's coming as well. We're gonna take the quads, the tinny, throw that in the roof, and explore a remote creek or river system up there and see if we can't get into some good fun and see how we go. But anyway, cheers guys, see you on the next one.